Welcome back to Panel Day Superheroes Ahoy. My name is Tushar. So today I'll do a short review of Uzumaki Spiral into Horror. So Uzumaki is a very popular manga book. It is. I'll quickly provide you the bio about the author. So Junji Ito debuted as a horror manga artist in 1987 with the first story in his successful Tomi series. Uzumaki, drawn from 1998 to 1999, was adapted into a live action movie which was released in America by Viz Films. Ito's influences include the classic manga artists Kazuo Umezu and Hideshi Hino, as well as author Yasutaka Tsutsui and H.P. Lovecraft. His other works include Gyo and the Museum of Terror series. So Uzumaki, it's over 600 pages, and I have not read many manga books. I have read Death Note. Manga books are an expensive hobby. They just run into so many parts that if you are not a part of a manga readers or manga fans club, it gets really difficult to get hold of 15 or 20 parts and read all of them. But I happen to be a member of the Leaping Windows cafe or the comic library when it was there in Bangalore, and that was when I was able to finish and read and approach a lot of manga books. So I have been hearing about Uzumaki a lot. I got into comic book reading this year and wanted to read Uzumaki, and I just wanted to see what was the fuss all about. I have heard quite a few other manga books also samurai based, but I find certain things very challenging, so I need to most of the manga, I might say I want to steer clear of the teen stuff, and I don't want to like, it does not interest me, just not for me. So I like more of the horror elements, more of I'm not much of a reader who would want to know what happens, and if a story just stalls, that is fine with me. But for me, few things are important in a book. It should really it should not be fake. I mean, if the writer or an artist, they are really excited about something, that's when I get hooked in as a reader, and that is pretty much what I follow as a writer also. So I have written some fiction here and there, and when I am fully committed, that's when I really want to write it. Other than that, it's just not doing justice to the writing. So all that aside, coming back to Uzumaki. So Uzumaki is about a town that gets sucked into spirals. So I know it sounds crazy, it's a very obscure horror concept, but what is essentially happening in this book is there is a lot of classical horror elements, there is a lot of human beings transforming into snails or butterflies, and there's a lot of biological and animal based horror. But then there is also the classical horror elements of graves and of dead people, of people getting killed. But somehow, I don't know if it was because it's written probably around 2 decades ago, that there is a certain classical storytelling aspect about it. There is something very old school about it. It's how you would watch the old horror of The Shining, or the books of Stephen King. There is a very small town neighborhood sensibilities of characters, and at the first read, obviously I cannot talk at length about it, but it is a really, I mean, this is worth all the popularity and all the fame that it is famous for. Not just the art is obviously humongously beautiful, and it's a monstrous effort of I mean, each panel and the backdrops, they are just awesome. And maintaining the genre elements of horror along with storytelling, holding your attention, it's a real page turner. I mean, I seldom read books from cover to cover, but this is one book that I have read cover to cover. Uzumaki, Spiral into Horror. Highly recommended from me. I'm not a great manga recommender as such. I have not read, I'm not a voice of on manga, but if you really like books, story books, comic books, or horror, then Uzumaki is definitely a worthy buy for you. That's about it. Thank you for watching Panel Day. See you in next video.